Hello, welcome, gorgeous beings of light. Welcome to We Are Pure Source. This is Elmara. I am going to try and take today's video out here in this magical garden before it rains and while I still have light and time to do it. So I wanted to just share a little bit more about the 5D gold light protection. I want to share a couple more miracles with you so that you can use them for when you use them as examples of when you might need them. So there's a couple of other miracles that came to mind. They're not really miracles. When you become connected to your pure source being of light you already are, when you become connected to that, then they're not really miracles. They're just part of normal life that happens when you are connected to your pure source being of light. We only call them miracles because we're so far removed from it. But I can assure you, beautiful beings of light, if you move your awareness from focusing on being broken and fixing yourself onto the infinite God source being of light you already are, your life is going to change in minutes. It changed remarkably. So it doesn't matter if you've got problems with your finances, with your relationships, with your business, with your health, then if you just shift your focus, no matter what's happening on the outside, to connecting to the pure innocence, the pure source being of light you already are on the inside, everything will change dramatically, almost immediately. So the two miracles that have come to mind, or the two instances that come to mind, one was when I was in my 30s. I worked in a call centre 3 days a week, and on the other 2 days a week I hung out in the cemetery and took dead people home. So you can imagine, working in a call centre, I was the weirdest person there. So those people who are starting out on their journey, I know exactly how you feel. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was that I'm just going to pan around here so you can see all this gorgeous garden I'm sitting in. Isn't it just beautiful? So what happened was, one afternoon, as it does in Queensland, the sky just turned completely green, as it often did. But in this particular time, it actually then turned black, and we knew we were in for something. So I just put myself on mute, jumped up on the desk and looked out the window and just started rapping. I was like talking to God out aloud, going, God, can you put lots and lots of gold light around my car? And I was kind of like putting these walls of gold light around my heart, and I was moving my hands and talking out aloud and just going berserk, layering my car in layers and layers and layers and layers of gold light, and asked for it all to be kept safe. And I'll probably move the video a lot then because I was waving my arm around, which is what I do when I channel. I close my eyes. That's why I take these pictures, by the way. I close my eyes and I wave my arms around, and that's why I take videos. And usually I have the video set up somewhere so it doesn't move. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. You'll have a really bonky video there. But anyway, and so I did that, and then when I stopped, I'd gone straight into spirit mode and forgot where I was. When I stopped, all the people in my pod and in my workplace were just staring at me. I said, and then they started to laugh at me. And I said, and you can laugh, but I bet you my car is the only one who doesn't have any broken windows on it when I get back to it. And when I went back that night about 6 o'clock when I finished my shift, sure enough, my car did not have one broken window in it. And although there was a couple that had broken windows, but there was also lots and lots of glass on the road where lots and lots of other people had obviously their windows had broken. So that's the first time. You can use it in times of crisis like that. You don't just have to use it around a house or whatever. But the next story is about a house. So I had gone to look after another friend, Mark and Leanne's property. And while they were away on holidays for Christmas, they had a beautiful property just out on the outskirts of Melbourne, about 66 acres, and lots of roses and, all the things that I love. And I really just needed to feed the dogs and the chooks and the horses. So I This particular day, it was Christmas Day. I got up around lunchtime. I picked a bunch of roses because it was Christmas Day. And I heard Spirit say, pick some more. And I was like, no, I don't want to. They were only away for a week. I don't want to pick all their roses. That's, they'll be home in a week. No, pick some more. So I picked 2 bunches, one for the meditation room and then one for the meditation room and then one for the house as well. And they were telling me to pick more and I just wouldn't pick any more. And so then I meditated, as I always do. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it was so hot. It must have been around 40 odd degrees. So I put the air conditioner on and put my roast chook on for Christmas lunch. And by 4 o'clock, this massive, massive, massive hailstorm had come in. And you could see it coming in. It turned green and then turned black as it does. It wasn't forecasted. It was a stinking hot 40-odd degree day on Christmas Day. And it really only came in over, with the kangaroo ground area where I was staying. And so I put, as it was coming in, and the hailstones, they started off about the size of golf balls, but before long they were the size of softballs. It was the same with the story in Brisbane as well. And so what I did was I gold lighted from one end of the house all the way through to the other end of the house and then included the shed as well. Mark's brand new Land Rover was out in the yard, and I didn't have the keys or anything to shift it. I probably wouldn't have been able to reach the pedals even if I did have the keys. So all I did was put tons, and it was under a tree, I put tons and tons and tons and tons of gold light around that. And then my car was poking out a little bit because Leanne's car was in the garage as well. And there was just a few, these were softball size balls of hail, and there was just a few little dents at the front of my bonnet, and I gold lighted all the way through into the other side of the shed. Now what's really interesting about that, and the hail just bucketed down for about an hour, and it was really seriously about 3 foot deep. So when it all calmed down about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I went outside and there wasn't a rose left on the bush anywhere. It had decimated the gardens, and the only damage that we had was that when I went out, there was a really nasty rooster there. I think his name was Brett from memory, and the rooster attacked me. I went, how the hell did you get out? And because I'd only taken the gold light, this is how important, how powerful this is, because I'd only taken the gold light to the edge of the shed and had not gone just past it, included the chicken pen or the chook pen that was, chook pen as we call them chooks in Australia, the chook pen that was kind of up against the shed. The actual chook pen had blown over and the chickens were all running wild and having a wonderful time. So that just proves that it works. Now, this is what's also really important. Now, another student who lived in Kangaroo Ground and less than 5 kilometres away, probably diagonally across, it was only a couple of kilometres. I rang him to see how he had fared in it, and he goes, he was whinging, oh, it's taken out my shed, it's taken out the roof on my veranda, it's done this and that. I said, I don't suppose you remember to put that gold light protection up I told you. And he said no. And so, yeah, look, and the next day, hundreds of people all around. You could hear people, just dismantling, throwing tin and whatever, dismantling where their homes had been wrecked. When we went down to the local, and Mark and them just thought I was exaggerating. And then when he got home, he and I went down to the general store to have a coffee. They had just these massive holes all in their roofs. And Mark spoke to the guy and said, was it bad? He goes, bad. He goes, I lost 15 window panes of glass and the roof and all sorts of stuff. So that's how powerful it can be, everybody. Everybody thinks I'm a little nutty, but if you just clear your mind, connect into your soul, your pure source being of light. If you don't want to call it God, most people don't. If you don't want to call it that, then just ask to speak to your pure source being of light, and then wrap gold light around whatever it is that you need protected. You can protect children, you can protect animals, you can protect your home, you can protect any of your belongings. Just be mindful that unless you have someone's permission, you really can't do it for someone else unless they're your children, say, under 16 years of age. So, alrighty, gorgeous beings of light, I hope that helps you. I hope you use it. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful technique that really does. It really will change your life if you be. And please, please stop fixing yourself. You're not broken. Just in any kind of healing that you do on yourself is really the unconscious message is that you're broken and you need fixing, and it's just not true. If you focus on the light, the gorgeous being of light you've always been, your life will change in days, and I promise you that. All right, darlings, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Have a great day.